Okay, hi everybody. By way of introduction, my name is Megan Lloyd, and I'm sure you've seen my website, and that's where you found the funnels. But I do a lot of different things. I do coaching. I help people, especially those in Doterra, find assistants to support their business. I help train their current assistants. I do a lot of different. My main goal is to help provide tools and resources for business owners, and that is you. So let me show you one of the things that I've created. I'm actually going to make my assistant's already here. She's already a co-host. Hi, Jennifer. That where it says Megan Lloyd, that's actually my assistant, Jennifer. And so she's going to be helping us out and dropping in some great links in the chat as we go along. So let's jump in and look at Trello. I'm going to share my screen with you really fast. I love seeing what you're already doing with Trello and what you're using it for. Can everybody see my screen, the Trello boards? Okay, wonderful. So the very first thing, I'll just kind of give you the brief overview, and then I'll walk through each template on how to use it and optimize it for you. But the very first one that I like to talk about is let's show you the prospect funnel, since that's where it usually begins. The idea here is this is a names list. Maybe I should even just called it the names list. So when you have a new builder that is coming up with the list of people they want to partner with in their business, this is where they can drop those names. And to navigate Trello is really easy because I've created these template cards. So if you click into it, it already comes preloaded with steps you would probably want each of your prospects to go through to be successful. And you can add your own, you can drag and drop and change the order. So if your process is different than this is fully customizable. This is just to get you started. So the first step you want to do before you start bringing in all your people is decide what you want your process to be. Is this the process that you want your people to follow? And Jennifer, I'm going to let you manage the people that are jumping in because I might miss them. Okay, so the basic idea is you're going to click on this little button. Don't click on add another card, click on create from template. And let's say that you met someone at the grocery store, Susan, and you got talking about essential oils. You can create a card for her here and get her going in your prospect funnel. You can add all the notes, like what her address was, what her health concerns were, what things you were going to send her as samples. Anything that you wanted to take note of, you can add them here. You can even check off her steps, the things that she's already done. Or if you don't want to check off steps there, you can just drag her into the columns of what she needs next. And the great thing is that each column comes pre-populated with resources to support you. So they have scripts and they have templates and they have so many other things to kind of get you going. And if you have an assistant, there's also tips on what an assistant can do to support you in each process. So it's very simple and easy to use. But if there is, let's say, a section that you don't do, like you don't give host gifts, then you just click these three little dots and click archive list and it will disappear. If you want to add your own lists, then you can just add your own here and drop it wherever you want, so that your funnel actually is what you actually do. So any questions on the prospect funnel so far? This is a great thing to give to all of your new builders again, as they're coming up with their names list and giving them steps on how to actually follow up with those people and get them going, like making their initial contact. I brought in a lot of the back to basics scripts. So when you click on it, it shows you the different scripts based on how that person was connected with in person or social media, text message. And those are the things that Alicia Devi has. So now the next funnel I want to show you is the customer funnel. The customer funnel is obviously for those that are enrolled. And I got a question that came in asking how to move people from one funnel to another. So I'll just show you really quickly. Let's say that you had someone in your prospect funnel that you wanted to move over here. Let's add Susan again. Or in this example, a customer turns into a builder. They've gone all the way through the funnel and they want to be a builder. All you have to do is click this little pencil button and click move. And then you can select from the drop down all of the whatever funnel you want to drop them into, and then they'll just drop into the first column of that funnel. So that's super slick. Any questions so far? Feel free to just jump in if you have questions. I'm just going to sort of blow through until somebody makes a comment. So if you see something, you're like, I want to know more about that, just let me know. But my intention today is to show you Trello and to also show you some other tools, because a lot of people have been asking me, how can I automate some of these steps? How can I make, instead of spending so much time like, sending emails or text messages, are there some things that can be automated? And I'll show you some other tools after this that, yes, things can be automated if you're ready for that next step. I know brand new builders aren't always ready to invest in all the things. So this is a great first start for those that just need somewhere to organize all their people. And then when you're ready for the next step, we have a lot of other tools available as well. So the customer funnel, again, the basic processes that we would hope to follow somebody through are, once they get enrolled, we hope they will get a welcome email, right? That's kind of the first step. And actually, let me pull up my chat. For some reason, when I'm sharing my screen, it won't show me the full chat. So let me just stop sharing so that I can see the chat. Okay. When you move to another board, like so Rebecca asked, when you move to another board, like once they're a customer, everything just follows. Everything in that card moves to the next board. So yeah, so it's definitely not, yeah, it's super easy. And there's a card mirroring feature. So one of the things to know is that on the free version of Trello, you can do so much. You don't need to buy the paid version. And you can add a power up to every single board. So if you click over here on show menu and click on the left button and then click power ups, some power ups are already enabled, but you can have one power up on every single board in the free version. If you buy Trello, then you can have unlimited power ups, but power ups are basically superpowers that to give your board an added ability. So you can have a card mirroring one. So that, let's say someone's a customer and a builder, so you want their card to show up in two places. You don't just want to move it, but you want it to actually show up in two places, and any changes you make on one card will show up in another. Then you can choose like the card mirroring one, so that will, any change you make on the builder card for Susan will also show up on the customer card for Susan, for example. Okay, let's see. Is there a quick way to upload our contacts, or do we have to do every person separately? So it does take some time to drop in your contacts, but the idea here is that you're not bringing in all the people from your team. Ideally, my idea here is I'm all about duplication. So the system here is fully duplicatable with your leaders. It's free to buy Trello. The funnels that I've created are free. So there's no reason that your leaders shouldn't be tracking their own people. Obviously, if you have a dead leg that you're the one supporting, then bring those people in. But you may want to do on one of your team calls, inviting your builders to start using Trello so that they can track their own people. So you're just bringing the people in that you are personally supporting in the business and as customers and prospects, and then let your leaders manage those people. Does that make sense? But other than that, you do have to kind of bring them in individually. And I have in the email that you get with all of the funnels, a little video that shows you how to get those from the back office and then put them in a spreadsheet so they're easier to copy over. But it does take some time in the beginning. But if you start creating like a regular schedule after that the moment you meet a new person who's interested in the oils, the very first step is add them to your Trello board. Then you don't have to do this massive experience for 2 hours every week just getting people in. All you have to do is just add them as they come. A new enrollment comes on your team, and maybe every week there's a task on your calendar where you grab new enrollments and put them into your Trello board. And your assistant can also do that, by the way, too. Your assistant can do a lot of if you have an assistant, obviously. Donna says, can you walk us through how a person mentors from Trello? That's such a good question, Donna. So I actually have a mentor board for you. And what it is it's called the Qualifying Leader Board. So let's find it really quick. I have so many boards that I have to... Okay, qualifying. Oh, those ones are in Spanish. And no, they're not fully translated, by the way, for those that are asking, like, oh, I see French and Spanish there. They're not fully translated. I have someone else that was translating them, and I'm not sure if they still are. So
2 over 3 down. 2 over 3 down.
2 over 3 down. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so it looks super simple, but the basic idea here is that on the top here would be all of your leaders. So if you only have 3 leaders, then you would change this to say, Debbie, Debbie is one of my leaders, and then Susan is another one of my leaders. And then you're going to put their qualifying leaders underneath them, so that when you're doing mentor calls, you're actually when you're on the phone with Debbie, she would have a card for Debbie. You'd have one for her and for each of her leaders. So you'd say Debbie, leader. And then underneath that, you would have one for each of her builders. So maybe Carrie is one of her leaders. And then you have all of them down. So when you're on a mentor call with her, you would pull up Debbie. And this actually pulls in all the things from the other the other template, but you don't have to use it. You can just add a new card that's blank and start typing in all the notes you want for that person. So ideally, here's what it would look like for me. Whenever I'm doing calls with somebody, I like to see the record of what we talked about and what the action items were. What were we all going to do after this call? You were going to go talk to so-and-so and send an email, or you were going to figure out a date for that. We were all had different tasks. And so what I do is I use this description to kind of type in all the notes of what we discussed, but then I also create a checklist and I say, Debbie's to-dos. And then I have another checklist for my to-dos. And then you can just start adding items in. So Debbie was going to do this. I was going to do this. And that way, when the next week, when you have your call again with Debbie, you can pull up and be like, okay, so it looks like last week you were going to do this. How did that go? Instead of being like, I know we talked about some things and I can't recall what it is that we discussed. It will be right here in front of you. And so you can even have a date next to each of these, like January 21st. So that you can add all the other checklists for future calls beneath it. So you kind of just have an ongoing record of all of your calls. And then you can even check off each of the to-dos that were done so that you know those are completed. And if they're not complete, then you just move it up to the next card, for that date. So does that help a little bit? Cool. And that is, yeah, so this is a super, super basic board, but super, super effective as well. You can add as many qualifying leaders that you have on the top. And let's see, someone says, how do we get copies of your boards? I have a couple already, but don't remember how to get them. So if you go to meganlloyd.org, you'll see them right here at the top of the, oh, and Jennifer put them there, perfect. And Nancy says, did you say that they're free? I had a free trial for 30 days, but then they asked me to pay. So the only reason that Trello would ask you to pay is if you have, if you're trying to create templates that you're going to share with people. And if you're not putting them on your personal boards. So for example, and maybe Jennifer, you can pull up the pricing list. I always forget what the pricing is, but there's different pricing structures. Never have to pay, because if you're in your personal boards, you can have unlimited personal boards. So when you click on my board, one of my templates at the top, and you would just click create board from template and then choose your personal board team to put on there, or to put that board in. That way you can have unlimited number of boards, and you're not limited by the 10, I think, that you get in a team board. So if you create a team, you can have all 8 of my templates in that team for free. But if you start adding more, it will ask you to pay. It will also ask you to pay if you come over here to the menu and you have more than one power up on every board. So if you may want to check those and see if there's a power up that you're not using and just disable it, so that you only have one in everything. Does that make sense, Nancy? Cool. Lynn says, where is this button to bring down new board? Like to choose where you, so Lynn, do you want to unmute yourself and clarify your question? Are you asking where to add new boards to, or which
I
button?
can see on your board there's a blue line, and there's a little button that says create something. Or yeah, I don't find this blue line. Mine is gray.
Because you've already added it to your account. And so it won't show like this anymore once you've already added it to your account. This will only be the very first time that you create the board, then it will show that. Otherwise, it will look like, let's see, one that I can show you that's not a template. This is just a, nope, that's not it. Let's see. I'm going to try and show you one that I can, that's not, let's see.
Okay, then my question actually is, from where I am, I have the Trello gray bar where it says home and board and a few other things. And I need to transfer, some of my people have become enrolled and I don't know where to put them. So there's no more room.
So you would move, so there's no more room on your board. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So your board, actually, you can scroll all the way over as far as you want, and you can also scroll down. So if you're on, let's see, like here's a random one. You can actually, when you're clicking on your thing, if you click it up, you can, this will go, you can see down and down and down until there's unlimited number of things here. And same with this, you can drag over and it will show you things on the right. So it's not limited by its size. Like you can go all the way down and all the way to the right.
Okay, so when I went all the way to the right, the last one I have is moved customer funnel or enrollment pending, and they have enrolled. Where do I put them?
Yeah, so now you would move them to the customer funnel. So you would get the customer funnel template that I showed you, and you would use the little move, the move thing, click on the pencil, click move, and then choose your customer funnel, and they will drop here in the customer funnel. So we'll move them to a whole new board.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's see, any other questions? One thing that recently changed is the shipping board, and this is so awesome. This one, and it looks very, very basic, and I wonder if I can pull up a something to show you, but the idea here is that it actually comes with a power-up called the track package power-up. So all you have to do is type in the tracking number, and let's just use one that I've used in the past, and I'm going to call this a test. And then I think this was USPS, but they're not limited to just the US. They can also be international. So it took me 2 seconds, and now it loaded the entire tracking information for that shipment. And it even shows me that it's been delivered. And so when you look at your board and you have multiple things that you've shipped out, it will tell you if it's been delivered or if it's in transit. So that when so-and-so emails you and says, hey, I was wondering where my samples are, I don't see them in the mail, you can come to your shipping tracker and be like, oh, it looks like that they are in transit or they should arrive on this date. And it will pre-populate everything for you. In fact, you can even show them this and take a snapshot of it so they know where it's at. So that's really awesome. Any questions on that so far? Okay, I'm going to show you just a couple more funnels because I know that there are a lot of them, but I have several. I have the project management board, which I'll show you also. And then I also have the builder funnel. The builder funnel follows them through, let's see, it follows them through, this has been updated recently, through the 6 weeks, the 90 days that Elise has on her program. And we populated it with all of those different tasks that you should do for a builder when they first start. So week 1, here's their checklist. Week 2, this is week 3. Week 3, here's their checklist. And it shows all of the steps, which is so awesome. It didn't have all of those before. It kind of just had like 1 through 3, but this is all the way from the beginning of, if they haven't even decided they want to start building, then we have to have the initial invite to build. Then there's a few emails that you can send them, and you can copy and paste this email and send it to them, and it gives them videos on what to watch. Like, so you're interested in possibly learning about joining me in the doTERRA business, here's some information, and it's just some very, very basic things. And then you have a follow-up call, and then you're like, well, if you liked that, let me send you another bit of information, and this is where it goes more into the comp plan and a few other things. And you can change the links if some of these don't resonate with you. Then if they decide they want to build, that's when you drop them into week 1, 2, and so on, and all of the support that they get there. Let's see. Donna says, how do we update our boards without re-entering the names? That's a great question. So let's say that you already have a builder board that's populated with names, but all you want to do is now add these. So you would come back to my template and it would show that it's a template up here because it says create board from template. And you would just click this little button and, well, first of all, add this one to your account again so that you have a second builder funnel on your account. But you're not going to use this one. You're just going to transfer cards over to the board you're currently using. So you just click here again and click move, and then move this card over to the board you're using and delete the other resource card that's already there. Does that make sense, Donna? Cool. Let's see. Terry says, how do we get the updated funnels? I think that was the answer. Let me know, Terry and Donna, if that didn't answer your question.
How do you, so where do I go back to get the funnels? Go back to your website?
Yeah, and or to the email that you originally downloaded the funnels from.
Okay.
Yeah, because all the links are the same for the templates, and so anytime that there is an update, you can just go back to that same link and re-add it to your boards, and then once you've copied over all the things that you need from this board, then delete it. Cool. All right, let's see. I do want to show you the project management board because a lot of people have been asking me about this. Let's see, I have one for the assistants, but then I also just have a project management board for just you as builders. And it comes populated with some ideas, but you run your business however you want. The main idea, if you're like me, I'm up in the middle of night thinking of all the things I need to do tomorrow, and my mind just can't sleep until I get all of those out of my head. Oh, I'm so glad that's one of your favorites, Rebecca. It's my favorite too. that's how I function my business. And so I have a brain dump section where you can drop in all of the things that you know you need to do eventually, even if it's not tomorrow or the next couple of weeks, even if it's 5 years down the road and you have this epic idea that you don't want to lose, drop it in the brain dump. And then only move things over when you're in the queue when you're ready to start working on them. These are the priority today or this week. And then you can move it to working on it now, and then when it's done, everybody's favorite part of a checklist is writing it as done. So I wanted to make sure there was a done column so that you can move them along in your little process. I gave you some ideas on things that you can do daily, weekly, and monthly. I know everybody does their business a little bit different. And so you populate this with common tasks that you do. And I know that, Donna, this was one of the questions that you had asked. You asked me, do I have like a monthly task checklist for going through the month as a builder to make sure everything gets done? And so this is a start, but I would load it with what you do each day, week, and month that you don't want to forget. You can even add deadlines to each one. Actually, no, I think deadlines are only available for well, you can add one deadline to a card, actually. Yeah. So you can add a deadline so that you'll get actually notified when something is coming up, and you can set the reminder to come, an hour before, several days before. Don't forget to download the Trello app, by the way, to your phone, because it's not just a desktop app. It's also something you can take with you on the go anywhere. So if you're on the plane and you don't want to forget something, or you're watching the kids at the park and you don't want to forget something, you can add it all to your phone app, and you'll get notifications on your phone as well when you have things coming up. So some common things, I know that I love the additions that you had, Donna. I hope you're okay if I just read some of these ideas that you can add here are like day one, texting and emailing out the promos. Totally, like month or the first day of the month is when the promos go live. We should probably let your team know about those promos. Maybe you're updating your social media headers. Maybe you're sending out a text message or sending out an email, whatever that looks like for you. And then towards like that first week of the month, I know some people like to send out a newsletter that's like, hey, here are the promos, but here are some ways you can use essential oils. Here's some recipes. Here's some tips. That's usually a good thing to do in the first of the month before the 15th, so that those who haven't already had an LRP processing may want to order or get that product of the month. One of the more common tasks that I like to recommend that you do is every week, go grab new enrollments and drop them into your system of choice, whether that's here in Trello, in Project Broadcast, or in Roboto or wherever, even if it's just a Google spreadsheet, that you keep all of your contacts, because we know that after so much time of inactivity, inactive customers will actually drop off of your tree and you'll lose contact with them. So we don't want to lose their information because they may end up ordering again in the future. So make sure that you grab those people and maybe send out a welcome email. I think, and here's a way to automate that welcome email, by the way. I know everybody's probably heard of Streak and it sounds really scary, but I'm not using it for the funnels. I'm just using it for the email templates. And I want to show you what that looks like actually. I'm going to move my email over to the screen so you can see. So just go to streak.com and you can download this for free. Again, this is another free tool that you can activate on your Gmail. And you can see at the bottom of my email, I have these orange buttons and I have these things called snippets. So you can create a snippet or a template of your welcome email. So here's one of mine actually. Let's see, I put one in here just so that you could see an example. Let's see. This is a lot for my assistant program. Actually, I don't have the welcome email here, but anyway, basically once you click on any template, it will just pop up and it will show up in the email so that you don't have to type it every single time someone enrolls. You'd literally just add their email address here and then be like, yay, here's all the information you need. This is actually a template for someone applying to be an assistant. But you can add a welcome email template here as well. So all you have to do is just save it as a template and then send it out to your new enrollees, which is super, super convenient if you don't have a system like Roboto or anything like that. Okay, so let's see, other common tasks for the month. Does it only work with Gmail? I think it only works with Gmail, Rebecca, because it's specifically integrates with Gmail. And I personally think everything should be on Gmail. If you're concerned about switching everything over, you can actually set all of your emails from your existing email to forward to your new Gmail account so that you don't have to keep checking 2 different email addresses. They'll just forward and then you never have to go back to Yahoo or whatever it is you were currently using. Okay, so other consistent tasks would be like Power of 3 or checking everybody's orders by usually around the 20th to the 25th of every month to see where you have holes in your tree. And you might actually really love this video from Callie that talks about whiteboarding. And let's see, I'll drop in the link here for you, but she talks about whiteboarding your structure to silver. But this is it's a similar principle no matter what whatever your rank is. And it's super effective. Let's see, Whiteboarding Doterra, Callie Wilson. She has this awesome video that I will drop here in the chat for you that actually shows you how to whiteboard your structure. And you can even put it in a little binder or on a whiteboard, wherever you need it to be, so that each month you can, you can see where the holes are and you're tracking their OV and PV and everything. Okay, so other tools. Some people have asked, how do we automate some of these different things? So first of all, I want to show you Essential Connection Co. Drop in the chat if you're already using the Essential Connection Co. and tell me if you are or are not using them yet. This is these are texting scripts that 4 diamonds and above got together and created scripts specifically for you and your business in Doterra specifically, because they're diamonds also. So they realized that one of the best ways to communicate with their teams was to text them, but nobody likes to be spammed text messages either. So this is amazing because it comes pre, oh darn, you just canceled it because you never got around to using it, Rebecca. Well, it's amazing. And if you have an assistant, they can even manage it for you, but they're coming out with a new system that used to be connected with Project Broadcast. That they are actually making their own texting platform that will be called Nudge, and it's going to be launched in the next month or 2. So if you're using Project Broadcast, soon all of the texting scripts will now be on Nudge. So there's no more taking the codes, dropping it in Project Broadcast and trying to figure it out. If you have Essential Connection Co., it will just have the templates already in your account already, and you just select the tags of who you want it to send to. So the first message might say something like, hey, this is Megan. I'm part of your upline support team with Doterra. Save this number as my business number so that you can reach out to me anytime. I'm excited to help you in your essential oil journey. The first thing that I have for you is some diffuser recipes for the spring. Text back the word diffuser and you'll get 5 of my best diffuser recipes for the spring. But notice how they have to opt in to get each series. You're not just spamming them with a whole bunch of messages. So they send you a keyword and then they get a series of text messages afterwards, like 1 message a day for the next 5 days. And it's awesome because people who are using it are noticing that customers who were once dead on their team or not ordering are now alive and well again, who are really excited about the products. And I thought this was really interesting, these statistics on open rates for email, Facebook, Instagram, and texting. And we all know that everybody sees text messages more than anything. So it's a really great bang for your buck. And when we're looking at like your funnel, for example, in Trello, the different things that you can drop into Project Broadcast are like the reminder emails for classes, let's see, so many different things. Continuing ed reminders, if you're doing a continuing ed series. Oil studies can also be put onto as a texting campaign. A reminder for your one-on-one, or even like the email with all the links of the things that you wanted to send them can be sent in here. There's so many different ways to automate these messages so that they just go out without having to be so much in it, if that makes sense. So this is one of my favorite resources, and they are moving over to a new system. So if you're already in Project Broadcast, you may have heard the announcement that Nudge is the new system, but it will be going live in the next few weeks to the next couple of months. So any question on that whole transition? I know there was a lot of confusion if you were already in Project Broadcast and how that was going to work if you moved over to Nudge, for those of you that are already using it. If not, I'll just kind of plow forward. Okay. Another tool, this is probably my favorite one, is Whiteboarding. And Whiteboarding actually has several different, let's see, I'm just going to drop this link in the chat really quickly for you so that you have it as well. Yes, this is going to be recorded, Lisa. So here's the link that you can go see some things for Whiteboarding. This will show you all of what Roboto does. It's basically an all-in-one system, and I've never been a fan of all-in-one systems until now, where Doterra has made a direct partnership with this company to load this system full of Doterra templates just for you. And they even have these starting plans just for $17 a month for newer builders that aren't quite ready for the $47 or $97 a month plan. And what it includes is it has a sampling funnel for in this one. It also has a Dotara newsletter that Doterra actually creates and drops into your account. So all you have to do is click send and send it to your customers. You can customize it and everything. Some people are using Synduit and they aren't. The main feedback with Synduit is that it's not customizable. It's awesome that it has the content, but you can't customize it to yourself. That is totally not the way with Roboto. You can also have 500 contacts in your CRM. Now, the $47 and $97 a month plan is where it starts to add a lot more value. And I want to kind of show you what it does. It has a personal website. It has the CRM, class registrations, funnels, and it has the newsletters as well. And this one even includes some courses that are already done for you that you can just send to your team. So let me show you what that looks like really quickly. Like these 2 courses, and I'm showing you my Roboto account. So this is something I actually use for my business that is even totally separate from Doterra. But the Healthy Habits course, oops, I don't want to duplicate it. I just want to view it. This is something, again, that's already pre-built onto your system. So you don't have to build any of this when you create a Roboto account. And again, this is on the $97 plan. And you would basically send your new customers here that want to learn about essential oils. And it's super beautiful, already comes populated with videos and how to use the essential oils and so much more. And then they just click next lesson and it takes them to more. So there's one for that. There's also one for builders. The builders have, and I'm currently translating these into Spanish, by the way. So if you have a Spanish team, these are also going to be available in Spanish coming soon. So here's the business builder course. If you're using Elise Chedevy's awesome material, you've probably noticed that there's still like a needed step before you send them over to Elise Chedevy's stuff, because she gets really great into all the strategy and those things, but they almost need a very first, what is LRP? How do I enroll someone in my back office? And this is where you would send them first, where it teaches them how to enroll someone and all the basic steps that they might forget. Let's live the Doterra lifestyle. By the way, all of these fonts can be changed. These are just like pulling in my custom fonts, and because it was caps locks, it's bringing it in all funny, but it won't look like this on your end. But it's all customizable. If you have a video that you love that you want to add in, you can change all the words, all the pictures, all the videos. Everything is customizable. The other great thing is that it comes with a website and these forms. So let's see, I actually want to edit my site so that you can see some of the funnels that they already have pre-built on the site. Let's see. Okay, so here we go on pages. They have all of these different things that are, again, are pre-built. So when you actually build your website, it comes populated with doTERRA verbiage. So you don't even need to, add as much. It's not like building a website from scratch. It already comes with content for you. Okay, the oil sampling funnel. Here's an example. And again, the font, you can totally customize the font, but this is a page that you would send or put on your website that you want to send people to request samples from you. And then what would happen is someone fills out this form, then they get tagged as requested a sample. And then they, in your back office, they get sent an email, an autoresponder email that says, yay, you've requested a sample. And you can create your own autoresponder series. If you want this to say something different, then you can have it say something different. You can also have follow-up emails that go out whenever you want them to as well. So this is a great space to put your welcome email. So the moment that you grab in all your new enrollments from the team each week, drop them here into your contact manager, tag them as new enrollee, and create a welcome email that will automatically go out to them the moment they are tagged. And that way, that system is churning for you. You don't have, there's not as much that you have to do to make it going. So I'm kind of showing you several different resources. The streak is free, and then this is a little bit like a next tier where it comes with more features and more tools. So I'm kind of showing you all the possibilities in case one of these resonates with you. So, and any questions on this so far? Okay. It also comes again with these Dotara newsletters, and I want to show you what they look like because they're already done, and they give you 3 every month if you're on the $97 plan, and 1 a month if you're on one of the lower plans. But I want you to see how easy it is to customize and how simply beautiful it already is. Like, you don't really have to do much to it, but you can change the text, change the video, change the image, add your logo, and it's already there, which is super great. Let's see, some questions that I know came in beyond, let's see, what is the major differences between the 2 price points? So Rebecca, that's a great question. The $97 plan is the one that gives you the 2 courses. You don't get the courses on the $47 plan. You also get more emails or more newsletters. So with the $47 plan, you get 3 newsletters every month that you can send. With the $97 a month plan, you can send 6 newsletters. You have 8 autoresponders in the $97 plan. And in the $47 plan, I think you have, I want to say 3 to 6. I can't remember. I think it's something in that range. Now, for those of you that may have like massive teams, let's say you have like 60,000 people on your team, you can get the $197 plan, and you can have unlimited contacts in there. And the reason why this is so crazy is I used to use Constant Contact, and it charged $350 every month just to have 40,000 contacts in the system. So that there's even an option out there to have unlimited courses, unlimited funnels, unlimited autoresponders, all the things is kind of amazing. Let's see, Donna says, if you have Roboto, would you still use Trello, or does Roboto replace it? So I have some people that use both because they like the visual of the Trello, but Roboto automates the processes. So you would still bring in all of your contacts into the contact manager, and it would send out messaging for you rather than you having to be the one to do the emails it would do it for you. And so it kind of just depends on your personal preference, because Trello is free. A lot of people just like to see visually where people are at. But Roboto is the one that will send out the messages, so you can see who's at different parts of that email series, if that makes sense. Let's see. Can you, let's see. Can we create 2 sections on the website for different languages? You could, however, if you go to any Spanish website, for example, like any website on Google Chrome, it will come down with a drop-down menu. Let's just go to Doterra's, for example, and it will ask you if you want Google to translate that page for you. So you don't have to have everything translated, although you could. But I am having the 2 courses translated so that those will be translated anyway. So when you go to account United States English, let's just change what the, let's see, I just want to change the language. See how it says always translate. It pops up with this thing. Do you want it to translate or not? And then if I click yes, then it will always translate the thing for me. So I'm just going to click always translate Spanish. And then enter. And there we go. Now all the words are in English. And so that's how anybody going to a website, if you just give them those instructions, go use Google Chrome, and when it comes down and asks you if you want it to translate, click yes. Does that help at all? Okay. All right. Oh, and Angie says you use both for different things on Trello and in Roboto. Do you want to unmute and tell how you're using both?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I use the project boards. The Trello project boards are very handy, and I can share those with my assistant. So that's nice. But in Roboto, I love the website option and the monthly newsletter. That's what I've gotten to utilize so far.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the prospect funnels in Trello is awesome too. So I never forget these people that I meet that are prospects, and I can always touch back with them from time to time, whether it be sampling, whether it be, it just, nobody slips through the cracks with that prospect funnel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
And Livy just asked, how do you get people to your website? So that's a great question. You actually have, just like with any other system, this one isn't quite as cumbersome as moving everybody into Trello. You don't have to do it one by one. You would just upload them all at once as a CSV. So over here in contacts, I'm not going to click on contacts because I don't want it to show my personal contacts there, but there's a spot where you can add new contacts and you would upload a CSV. So you go to the back office of Doterra, download your customers, and then upload that CSV here, and then you choose how you want them to be tagged. So I would probably I'd probably bring in certain groups at a time. I'd say these are my builder groups, and then you tag them as builders. This is my customers. These are my ones in my Spanish customers. And you kind of tag everybody a little bit differently so that you can send targeting messaging to certain tags. So when you're sending out an email, it would say like, who do you want this email to go out to? And I'd say, I want this to go out to my customers, or I want this just to go to silvers and above. Then everybody's already organized into groups or tags. Let's see. So Rebecca says, so someone would have to be a contact in order to see the training and education. They would need to be like a member. And so technically you can make the site public so that your courses are public to anyone in the world who wanted to see it. However, I know that some people really prefer to have that be team specific content so that you're not just teaching everybody else's teams how to do the business and how to use the oils. It's something they get for creating a membership on your team. And so Roboto is one of the, it's so funny, this week I've had so many messages from people of my clients who have said, Roboto has the best customer support of any system they've ever used. And it's so true, because they'll get on a call with you and they'll help you set up your membership site so that when they actually go to your website, like mine, meganloy.org, it says log in, and they can log in and see all of the things that they specifically have access to as a customer on your team, which is so, so great. Michelle says, if you already have a website, can you forward to a Voto website? So you will have to create like a new website, but the fact that you already have one existing makes it so much easier to move over. It's not nearly as time intensive because it's just copy and paste your existing content and then uploading the new images. And the thing that I love about it is that they actually have some really, really beautiful templates. I don't know if you've heard of Quinn Curtis, but she is a brand designer. I wonder if I can pull up some of the templates. This is actually Quinn. She's a brand designer and builds websites professionally and charges like $2,000 or actually like $2,000 to $7,000 to build a website. And she is the one that created the templates in here, but you don't have to pay that because she built the template and it's already part of the system, which is so great. But you can go in when you first create an account, you can even trial it for 2 weeks if you wanted. And just get a feel for what templates are there and you can customize everything. Oh, I didn't even tell you, this is one of my very favorite parts about the thing, is that it actually has this My Brand. So if you have very specific colors and look and feel to your brand, you can go over to Site Builder and My Brand and upload all of your fonts, your colors, exactly what you want every single button to look like on your site and everything, so that when you create new elements on your site, it brings in your branding every time. I used to use Wix or WordPress, and anytime I added a new button or a new element, then I'd have to go change the font or change the colors every single time. But here it cuts out most of the process of building a website because it's already done for you. And if you want Wovoto to build it for you, they can too. Let's see. Would you suggest to buy your own domain name? You can, but you don't have to. If you don't have your own domain, then Wovoto will give you one. It might say like meganlloyd.wovoto.com. So it would have Wovoto's name in it if you don't want to buy one. So if you're not ready to buy one, then that's totally fine as well. Let's see. Michelle, what was your question about the domain? You said you were wondering more about domain name.
I already have a domain name. And so I was just making sure that you could forward your Wovoto website to your own domain.
Yes, absolutely. It can. Yep, definitely.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's see. I'm just writing myself some notes real quick. Okay, let's see. Another question. Okay, I think I got all of them. But yeah, it's super easy to bring it all over. And I think they do, there's still a discount to get Wovoto. I don't think that there is a discount anymore. Back in December, they were doing like a Christmas promotion, but I don't think they're doing it anymore, but it's still quite cost effective. So if that's something that you're thinking of doing, it'll definitely be worth your time. So, and the other ways to use it, because a lot of my existing clients didn't even know that these options were available to them. That let's say you have continuing education, or anytime anyone ever registers for your website or any event that you're doing, I'll just stop sharing for a second. Then you would create a form that they register for an oil study or register for continuing education. And then again, it tags them as continuing ed or oil study. And then once they're tagged, you can have an autoresponder that goes out that says, yay, you're in continuing education. Here's the Zoom link. Here's the PDF. Here's the time. Here's all the things that you need. And it will just automatically get sent to them. And then the greatest part is you can set following emails to be like, if your continuing ed is every Thursday at 7 p.m., then you can schedule another auto reminder that goes out every Thursday at 5 that says, hey, continuing ed is in a couple hours, don't forget. But you don't have to send it because the system will. And so that's one of the things that I love about Wovoto is that it automates everything for you, so that you're just showing up for the most important parts to teach and knowing that the follow-through isn't being missed. So there's some things that are already built for you, like the follow-up emails, but you'll probably want to create even more so that your customers are totally taken care of, from the time that they request a sample to the time that they enroll and beyond. Let's see, Terry or Andrew says the website is super easy to build. I watched mine being built, super easy, great customer service, and you can send follow-up emails and events. Yes, and they're so great. Like they'll get on a video with you and just walk you through it too. Terry, you said, I don't think we have unlimited personal boards anymore in Trello. Oh, is that like a new feature with, oh wait, Jennifer, is that what you were telling me? Somebody I think was telling me that you can't have unlimited personal boards anymore on Trello. Is that true? Like what do you mean by what's your limit? How many can you have?
So they allow me to have whatever I already had, but now they've made me create a team under my name, even though it's not a team, and I can only have 10 there. I already had a team under my business name, and of course you can only have 10 there, but it will not let me, even though I put like under my personal board, I put create a new board, it moves it to the Terry team. So there's something, and I read something, they're not allowing us to do multiple unlimited now. They've changed that, which is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Well, I think you can still have 10 on your personal. And so I think I have 10 total funnels. And so, or 8 total funnels. So that would still fit for whatever you're using, you know, for the free version, if nobody wanted to pay for Trello. And then you'd obviously be limited a little bit on if you wanted, you know, more than that. But at least you can use for those of you that are really kind of pinching pennies, you don't have to spend so much. Let's see, can we add our Zoom links for events in Roboto? Yeah, totally. So in like the autoresponder emails, you would just say, here's the Zoom link. And then they have the Zoom information for when that Zoom happens, which is so awesome. In fact, we even have a feature, I haven't really used it, but where you can actually link your Zoom account with Roboto in some way. I haven't actually used it before, but anyway, that's really awesome. And I know, Donna, you had several other questions. I want to make sure that I pull those up as well. Let's see.
Yeah, one of them was, I don't know if you're familiar with Funnel-It.
I have heard of Funnel-It, and it's kind of similar to what Roboto does, only I feel like Roboto is more robust. Roboto does more. Yeah. And so I'm like a diehard Roboto person because that's where all of my stuff is. And even if you have 2 different brands, and that's one's Doterra and you do a coaching business, or 2 different things, you can use both on the same site, which is so great. And it's not just Doterra either. So if you are beyond Doterra, then you can also have something that's totally separate and use Roboto just for that business only too. Let's see. You also asked, let's see, let me make sure that I got to your other questions. Actually, I think we got to all of them. Did I miss any of your other questions, Donna?
I don't think so. I think you got them. Thank you so much.
Cool. The other thing that I really love is Calendly. And again, and when you're in the very beginning of your business, you can almost have like tool overwhelm, program overwhelm. So I don't want to overwhelm you with all the things that are possible, because I'm just giving you ideas and then you choose what works. Rebecca says, Calendly is my life, right? Me too. So Calendly, let me actually just share my screen to show you what it is. Calendly is how I legitimately organize my life. It's where people schedule their consults with me and everything. And so what it does is so you can link it to your, let me see, you can actually link it to your Doterra or your Roboto account as well. So when someone says talk to Megan, they click schedule an appointment and it takes them right to, actually, but this is not a live site. And then it takes them to my calendar so they can schedule an appointment with me right on my account. And you can have multiple different to links. And so I have, one's for coaching and one's for my clients. And you just tell it when you want it to show that you're available, basically. And when I'm going on, or like tomorrow when I'm having a surgery and I don't want anyone to book an appointment with me tomorrow, even though I usually say that I'm available from Fridays at this time, I go to my phone because my Gmail account is connected to my Calendly account. So any appointments that I book on my Google Calendar will be blocked out because I've told Calendly to cross-reference my Google Calendar, because that's where all of my events are. So if something is already scheduled on my calendar, then I just, then it won't show as available. So I will literally book myself a vacation on my phone, or a surgery in this case. And I'll say I'm having surgery from 10 to 5. And so I can't have anybody booking time with me, and then it will just block it off, which is so nice. So I really, really, really like Calendly. And the pricing, what is the pricing? Maybe Jennifer, do you want to drop the pricing link in there? I actually don't remember how much it costs, but it's super cost effective as well. Other things, Calendly is not free. Calendly, let's see. I'll just pull it up for everybody. Let's see. Okay, here's the pricing. There's a basic one where you have one calendar and one user, one event type only. So if you have just a consult, and that's it, that's the only thing that the only event type that you have, you can't have multiple events that people can book, then you can use that totally free. And I didn't even know that. That's really great. And then the next one is $8 and the next one is $12 per month. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Rebecca says, I hate the back and forth, so Calendly is the best invention of life. Never have been double booked since using it. Wellness consults get booked there, follow-ups, etc. Yeah, and so if you decide to use something like Roboto and Calendly, when somebody requests a sample, for example, and then they get the auto email from Roboto that says, yay, your samples are on the way. Then a few days later, after they get their samples, you can have a follow-up email that says, I really hope that you enjoyed the samples and they worked for you, whatever you want your messaging to be. I would love to connect with you for a 15-minute chat sometime to see how they went. Book that time here, and then you just send them your Calendly link and they get on your schedule. And then you don't have to be this back and forth like, well, what about Tuesday at 10? Well, I can't do that because I'm taking my kids to school, or can't do this, and you go this back and forth, back and forth. Just send them your calendar and then they can find a time that mutually aligns with your calendar. And so there's less of this going back and forth. Cool. Okay. Other questions? Are there anything right now? What is one of the biggest, with the last 4 minutes left of the call, what are some of your other challenges in your business as far as automation or tools or things that you're using? And maybe I can come up with an idea of other possibilities to make that system easier for you. Is there anything else that is a challenge for you today? And I'll see if I can help you.
Yes, Megan. I moved my customer from one board, my basic board, to the customer funnel, but I don't see him there. And it said it moved to second place. I have no idea where he is.
Okay, so without seeing it, maybe after this call, you can share your screen with me. I have a meeting right at 3, and so maybe you can share your screen with me and I'll spend like 1 minute just showing you where it is. So Donna's big question is bringing it all together. Where do you start? So if you were interested in Roboto, like if you're like that seems like a system that could really support where I'm going and where I'm heading, then the first place to start is probably to do the webinar that they have. And actually, I'll drop in the link right now. I'll just grab this one, Jennifer, so you don't have to drop it in. They do 2 webinars every month where you can learn more about the system, and they'll kind of walk you through even more. And so you can register for one of those webinars just to get a feel and see if it's could work for you. And then you can even use the link above, and I'll drop the link in again, to create a free trial account. And you can just play around with what's in there and see if it works for you. If it has, oops, I actually sent the, the link just to Jennifer. I'll send it to everybody so that you all can see the link. Here's the webinar link. So those would be that's where I would start if it were me. Go watch the webinar, start a free trial, get familiar with, playing around with it. And the awesome thing is, if you ever get stuck with, you're like, oh, this is too overwhelming, I don't even know where to start. Roboto is amazing, and they actually will sit down with you and walk you through a lot of things. So they even have a done for you option that if you're like, building a website just freaks the heck out of me, then you can pay $497 just to have them transfer your existing site content to your new site, or build you a new one with kind of the basic things. Then you can go in and edit it and change it up after that. It's okay, Lynn, I'll let you share your screen in just a minute. Oh, if you're on a PC, if you're on a tablet, then I don't know how to help you without seeing it. I'm sorry, Lynn. Yeah, sorry. It may have just dropped into a different board or something. I'm not really sure. But anyway, back to Roboto, that's where I would start. So I hope that helps. We're right up on time. So unless anybody has any other questions, then it was great being with you. Thank you for sharing the hour with me. And I hope you have a wonderful Friday tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.